Hey guys, it's Devil, and
Yeah, this is Oricard.
welcome back to our channel. We have a guest star today by the name of Ruin F20. Go ahead and say hi, Ruin.
How's it going, everybody?
And welcome back to the Star Citizen podcast. Today we have a lot of stuff, even though it's only been a half a week to talk about, and we're actually going to try and get you guys more involved in the community. So, Oricard, what would you like to talk about first?
I would like to actually talk about the message that Chris Roberts sent us for our Thanksgiving.
Do you have any thoughts on that?
I think it's great that he's reaching out to the community and expressing his gratitude for everything that the players have done to get his game up off the ground and turning it into what it is going to be. He also released a couple of models with his thank you message, just to give players a taste of what he's creating for the future of the game.
Actually pulling those up right now just to refresh myself. What do you think? I can see that it has a pistol, and it looks like some kind of jetpack or something.
Those are actually the Explorer skins that they're making for some of the characters.
I think that's pretty awesome because that's my number one goal at the beginning of the game is to explore, like I talked about last time.
That also actually gives us the first look at our female character models that'll be in the game, and they look pretty accurate.
She's got a nice butt. I'll give her that. Alright, next on the list, what do we got coming up? They raised a lot of money for Veterans Day. That was pretty cool. Did you actually see that link?
I did. On November 11th, which was, of course, Veterans Day, they decided to do a play to give back. Decided to do a play to give back, and they're actually selling the F7A Hornet body upgrade that day, and they made $64,480 in donations, just for players sending in money and buying those ships that they were offering.
That's epic. That's it. That hits home for me. Just being in the military and knowing, what those guys go through. Like half my friends have been in the military, and seeing them actually do something like that makes me happy that this company is leading this game. Like it just makes me connect with them even more. So.
I think one of the big things a lot of people don't realize is that I saw a lot of people on the forum are posting saying we raised $64,000, which, whenever you think of it in the standpoint of raising money for a charity, it doesn't really seem like a lot, but it really helps out. Quite extensively. My cousin's a veteran now, and he's been having a lot of trouble financially and things like that. And he actually got, I can't remember what charity it was lately, but he got a small $50 certificate in the mail from Visa from a charity, and he was able to get groceries on his table, get some food for the kids. Little
awesome.
things like that. And as much as people say, well, 64,000 isn't a lot, well, split that up into $50 for how many people, and that's quite a few people, and it can change a lot.
See, if you guys ever see any charities up on the site, just feel free and donate what you can. If you can buy a new ship that'll make you happy, you'll also be helping veterans happy, or any other kind of charity happy by sending them money that they desperately need to help people.
I'm sure they'll probably do another giveaway like this. We got a whole year, so Veterans Day and 4th of July, everything's going to roll around again. So I'm sure that they'll do much more sales like that. So, like you said, if you guys see charities up, that definitely help out. Now, this is probably the worst news that we're going to talk about today. But my buddy recently told me, and I still haven't got the link. I'm trying to find it. I haven't confirmed it, but the Dogfight Module, apparently they bumped it back to Q1 next year. So we're not going to have it before Christmas. And that sucks.
Well, look at it from one way, though. Why instead of saying, okay, this is going to be bad because we're not going to be able to experience this sooner and things like that, throwing that away, what's the good that can come out of it? I mean, really think about it. It's not all bad. What do you think, Devil, could come good out of that?
I'm biased, man, because I've honestly been pushed to the point with the DayZ standalone of like, I just want it already, and he's always saying I'm not going to release it until the game's ready. And I'm assuming that Star Citizen's saying the same thing. They're not going to release a thing that they're not comfortable with, and they're not going to release it until it's ready. And that's great, but I'm just so wary of it becoming a DayZ, where it's just DayZ was supposed to be out 6 months ago. Like, I kind of pessimistic. It will be good. Like, being honest, it will make the game better, but I'm scared. That's all.
I'm just hoping they use this time for optimization, clearing out any bugs that they do have, and just making sure that dogfighting module is going to be smooth, playable, and fun.
Yeah, the other thing that applies to that was I was thinking maybe because of his special design philosophy, Chris Roberts behind the development of this game with all the mini crunches instead of one big crunch in the game. In the end, I was hoping there would be less delays, but no, we'll have to wait and see. What do you think,
Right.
Ruin?
And I think the biggest part about it comes about, well, I know you've heard my rant before about the game's releases nowadays, and a lot of them kind of release a game unfinished. And I feel if a developer
yeah.
says, I don't want to release a game or a module, something small for you guys to experience, if he doesn't want to release it because he doesn't feel like it's going to be good enough and it's not as good as he wants it to be, I think it's a good thing that he did that, because I've gotten pretty I wouldn't say angry, but a little mad about games releasing recently and not being finished. And I mean, yeah, they end up fixing it, but I mean, whenever you release a game, I mean, I remember going and buying a cartridge for Nintendo 64, and the game was perfect. I mean, you'd find a bug or something like that, but then you'd exploit it and do something fun with it. It wasn't something that you couldn't play the game. And I feel that it could make the game better if he takes the time to make sure it's in the pristine moment that he wants it to be released.
Yeah, I don't want to be misconstrued as if like I'm really upset about it. Overall, yeah, it's a great thing. I'm just worried that it'll be a repeating thing. If it's a repeating thing, then it becomes a big issue.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's completely understandable. You can't say I'm going to release this and then not release it and keep on doing that. And that's where we're coming to DayZ standalone right now. So.
Yeah. All right, so I know Ruin saw my video. Orica, did you see my Jarvis video?
I did.
What do you think of it?
I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, I played it off as a prank, and I made it seem as if I modded that in and I found that somewhere in the files, but that Jarvis file is actually an independent project that a YouTuber is creating, and I'll put his link down in the description down below. And it's actually a program for your computer where you can program almost anything you want into it. If I say open Google, it'll open Google for me. But you have to program it obviously beforehand. But it's all voice activation. You can you can launch programs with it. You can go into certain files with it. You can have a conversation with it if you want. Basically, what I did was before the start of the video, I created a bunch of responses and basically played out a conversation that I had in my head before I went in. And it was kind of a pain in the ass because I did it on a face cam and I had to act it out probably like 30 times because it's it's voice recognition software, so every now and then it would just start talking when I didn't want it to. But I think overall it came out pretty well, and most people are happy because I think almost everybody wants some kind of voice command system in this game.
Yeah, I kind of want to say I was a little upset because after I watched the video, I kind of had the thought the whole video that it wasn't real, and it made me upset because now I really
just
want
wants to be
that in
Iron
the
Man.
game. Oh yeah, dude, I hella want to be Iron Man.
I think the creator got his inspiration from learning that the guy that's developing the current UI for the ship system is actually the same guy that did the UI for Jarvis in Iron Man 3, so I guess he was like, there should be voice command, which has been a voiced opinion on the forums, and, this guy come along that did Jarvis, might as well try to make something that's Jarvis related, so maybe it's his inspiration.
I don't think the guy that created the Jarvis, the voice thing, is related to Star Citizen. And anyway, I found his video completely on accident, and then I put two and two together, and I said this would be epic, and then I kind of modded it together. But
so it was your inspiration.
Yeah, for the Jarvis thing. Yeah, I think it would be epic, but I think it needs to be approached as in the fact that I don't want them to create a artificial intelligence. I mean, if they could, that'd be outstanding, but it would take so many resources to create an AI like that. But some kind of voice command system, where if I hold down a key and I say fire chafe or Fox 3 or Fox 4, whatever the hell it is, Fox 2, then it shoots a missile or it deploys the chafe, but only if I'm holding that key down so that I can talk to my team at the same time. I think that would be an outstanding addition to the game.
No, I don't know if I've seen the a lot of the things they've done with the new Xbox One with their voice commands and recognition and things like that, but I don't think it's very far fetched for them to put something like that into the game because I mean the technology is there and everything, so I don't think it'd take too many resources to do it. It's just the fact that they need to do it. So I think it'd be great because they're able to do it.
Maybe only on certain ships, or maybe as an installation part. Maybe there won't be only physical parts. There won't be engines and missiles that you need to buy, but you can buy software for your thing. Because one thing that Chris Roberts was saying was he wants people's ships to be like their PCs. He wants them to have custom rigs, know everything about it, put it together. So, I mean, you don't only make a computer out of hardware, you make it out of software as well. So I could see it going down that type of road.
If they do put voice activation into the game, I would be wary of it because I've seen a lot of very poor voice activation in games.
Yeah.
But it's Chris Roberts. He'll actually take the time and get the resources to try to get it right if he does it. So if they put it in, good. I'm looking forward to it. If not, then it's not going to take away from the game at all.
I could see him going for it too because he's got that whole "this is not for the casual gamer" mentality. This is for like people who take it seriously. And
oh yes,
people with built-in mics on their laptops are going to have a hard time using it, but he's not concerned about that. He's more for like, if they want it, they're going to have it. If you want to put the time and effort into making a rig that will play this game the way it's meant to be played, he'll give us that option. So I think it'll go down that way.
Yeah.
Okay, who wants to talk about anything? What do you want to talk about next, Scorecard?
I noticed that they really didn't have a Black Friday sale on the website this weekend.
I know, dude. I was counting on it, man. Like it's the biggest shopping day of the year, and I don't know if
maybe he's not into the crowds going out to kill each other for a TV, and he just didn't want to use this day as try to put ships on there because they really do need the money.
They made 1.5 million the day before though, so I can
exactly.
See them. And honestly, I think maybe they look like they've all been working super hard in this game. They probably just took a weekend off as a break. I don't blame them.
It was Thanksgiving
that's true,
weekend,
but
of course.
Cyber Monday is still coming up, so you never know.
That's true.
Yeah, true. Hopefully something epic comes online.
But you also have to understand they just did get done with a huge sale where they brought back a lot of ships that weren't available before, or that were available before but are no longer. And they made so much money last weekend just selling those ships with lifetime insurance on them.
Yep. That was huge too. Alright, so something that I wanted to talk about. Last night I fell asleep early, and my girlfriend, she's a painter, and she decided to paint me a picture, and all I freaking talk about is Star Citizen. And she painted me a really nice painting. I'm going to take pictures and I'll put it on the live stream or on the podcast so that when you guys are actually watching you can see it, but it's got the Star Citizen logo and some planets in the background, and I thought that was pretty cool because I've never had a girlfriend that supports me that much, and on the gaming side of things. So
I was just sad to learn she wasn't a gamer.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, I want to see it. You should get us a link for that or something.
It'll be on.
There you go. Yeah.
I'll convert her. It'll happen.
So I saw that you recently posted a new video, Devil, displaying the Freelancer versus the Caterpillar, and I thought that was really cool.
So did I. But I posted it on the forums to get some feedback, and the general consensus is most people agree with me, but one guy was talking about the Caterpillar because I kind of bagged on the Caterpillar, and I said, the guns on the Freelancer are bigger, better, it can hold the same cargo, it just can't hold as many people. And the guy came on the forums and he was like, you know what, the Caterpillar is meant to be a boarding ship. And I guess that makes sense because he was saying that the developers mentioned that the Caterpillar will have super thick armor. So it won't be the focus of any kind of armada in a firefight. If you enter a huge firefight, nobody's going to focus on it because they won't be able to take it down. So it can pull up next to other ships with all that armor, get hit a few times, and still be able to send its crew across because it's just a massively long ship with tons of cargo space. So I thought that was a pretty valid point. It seems like it would be a much more team-based ship than the Freelancer, and the Freelancer is supposed to do a lot of damage and just be like a less maneuverable fighter. So I thought that was an interesting take on what I had originally conceived to just be a crappy ship compared to the Freelancer.
It's geared more toward the pirate community more. So, pirates are probably not as technologically advanced as the other ships, or they just scrounge to get what they can, and the Caterpillar is just one of those ships that was, reliable, yet, not as advanced as the other ships, or maybe not as tough.
Well, the
But still
lore
a great
behind the
ship.
ship, because you gotta remember this universe is supposedly just a standalone universe with history and backgrounds. The ship was made for search and rescue, not for any kind of combat or anything, and it was just adapted for transport and whatever the hell they use it for now, and I guess pirates, for boarding. But not all ships are made for combat, and this one was clearly made for search and rescue. So.
In the lore, it's one of the most popular boarding ships for pirates.
Oh yeah, it says something about it being focused on by cops or something like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Cops see a Caterpillar ship, they immediately go investigate.
Interesting. Yeah, that's another downside to it, I guess. So, I'd still rather have a Freelancer. It just seems like
The
best on
Freelancer
all
is just a
fronts.
cooler ship. It's more like the Millennium Falcon.
Exactly.
Well, I think the biggest point that's going to be the big decider about the two is the Freelancer. I believe it only has two crew slots. The Caterpillar has 5, so I can see where the kind of pirating comes in with that. You get the whole crew to tractor beam a ship in and board it and everything. And I mean, the Freelancer, I guess, that run away and shoot.
I'm not exactly sure how the crew is going to work on the Caterpillar because, most of the time, crew slots just means there's manable turrets. Like on the Freelancer, there's 2 crew, one person to fly, and then there's a turret on the back that is manable. And on the Idris, it's a little different, but there's 10 slots available, and like 8 of them are turrets. So I don't see any. There's no turrets.
Got a massive one, yeah.
Yeah, there's no turrets on the Caterpillar. From what I understand, there's hard points are all below level 5, and I think turrets start at 5 and above. So maybe the crew is meant as like just a boarding party, but I'm pretty sure you can actually have more than the default amount. Like you can have people standing around in your cargo bay, and the crew only applies to the amount of people required to operate the ship. So not exactly sure how that's all going to work, but if you can have people running around your ship, not affecting the flight or the weapons in any way, then the Caterpillar would be an epic boarding ship because it has so much room on the inside for people to just wander around. You pull up next to a ship and they'll be able to, send an army over. So
It also has so much room for all that glorious cargo the other ship's carrying.
believe it or not, the Freelancer and the Caterpillar have the same amount of cargo space by default and the
Ah.
same amount of upgrade space.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the key things they need to talk about. If by saying it has, well, I mean, you got the bigger ships, which got 10 slots, the Caterpillar, who's got 5 slots. I wonder if they're going to make it to where, like you said, where you can have people just running around, even just sitting in the cargo hold, or if it says it has 5 seats available, you can only have 5 people in it.
That's the thing I'm wondering about is if there's a definite number of people you can have per ship, because I was looking at I forget the name of it, the big transport ship, the one that looks like the one from Star Wars.
I think
And
Castalion, I think it's called.
I forget, but that is a crew of 2, and it's meant to be a transport ship, so I guarantee it's not a transport ship where you're transporting one person. So there's going to be able to be people walking around on the inside. The only question is, do they all have to have seats, and are they able to move? So we shall see.
Oh, you're talking about the Corellian Corvette. That's what y'all are talking about.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
I'm such a nerd.
Brilliant Corvette. Isn't that the rebel ship?
Yeah, but it was a transport ship.
I'm talking about the Starfarer.
Oh, okay.
The Starfarer, that one made by MISC. That it's a transport ship. Right?
No idea.
Okay. Anyways, on to the next subject. Players building Lego models of ships. That sounds pretty cool. I haven't even seen this. I'm assuming that Oricard put this on the list.
There's this big fad going on the forums right now where players are basically... I guess Legos are still popular. I mean, I haven't had a Lego set in 10 years, but they're going online, looking at pictures and building Lego models of their ships. One of them actually uh, had a video of his ship advertised, and he had Darth Vader on the top. I mean, it's kind of goofy, but some of them are really cool. Some of them are like 1/10 size of what they're supposed to be, and
epic.
they're really detailed. People are actually taking a lot of time to do
I
these.
heard there was a guy who made a full life, real life, like full size version of his ship.
Out of Legos?
Wow.
I'm totally kidding. That's not true.
I was about to say, I mean, come
Oh,
on.
that'd be awesome.
That would be epic. That's a challenge. If anybody does that,
That would take
yeah.
a lot more time than I would have put into Legos.
If anybody does that, we'll dedicate an entire live stream to you or a podcast. Just send me a link.
Talking about his life story.
Yeah.
What made you pay thousands of dollars to build a ship out of Legos?
And it can't be the Merlin. It has to be like a constellation or something.
Oh man.
Yeah, well, I know they've been doing a lot of that on the Reddit. Here's a link for you guys. I'll post it.
Okay. Oh god, that's so
speaking
loud.
of ships.
Oh, that is loud. Sorry about that.
Speaking of ships, they've actually been Space Industries, Robert Space Industries. They've actually been, I guess, trying to copy our time with car commercials, except their own ships.
Yeah, exactly.
They've taken ships like the what's that
300
dogfighting
series.
ship? The 300 series is one of their big pushes.
Dude, I swear to God, I'm driving home today and I'm listening to a BMW commercial. All I could think of was the 300 series. I swear to God, I need somebody to like look it up and find out if the guy who does the commentary for the BMW commercials is the same guy. I swear they hired the same exact voice actor that does the BMW commercials. He sounds exactly the same, dude.
I think it's neat that they're doing this, not just for an advertising standpoint for the game, but just to get players excited, because these are really well-made commercials for the ships that were, made by the companies in the future in this game that manufactures these ships.
They're exceptional.
Oh yes, the music's amazing. The trailers themselves are amazing. Just show off the ships, showing what these ships can do in dogfights and how fast they can go. When I saw the 300i series doing breaking the sound barrier, and you see that sonic boom come from the ship, it was just like, wow, can I do this in game?
Yeah. One thing that I really like about the design behind the game is the fact that the website is called Robert Space Industries, but that's not the name of the game. It's not Star Citizen. So I can see them down the road. This is like foreshadowing, because they're doing all these commercials. They're making companies into, a brand that you can stand behind. You can stand behind RSI because they make the Constellation, or you can stand behind Origin because they make the 300 series. And at the very bottom of the website, you'll actually notice the 4 logos. You notice Origin, RSI, Drake Interplanetary, and Anvil Aerospace, the guys who make the Hornet. And I'm assuming that they're going to make a website for every single one of these or for every single one of these
I can
companies.
definitely see that.
And
you just go online and check out their merchandise.
Exactly, and and I guarantee it's going to confuse the hell out of new players, because when I first logged on and I was like, there's a bunch of companies and I don't understand what's going on, and like I can see that being like a pretty cool feature of the game. And I already associate the Origin as BMW. They've got the luxury type spacecraft.
Yeah, I feel like it's a lot more personal. It makes it to where it kind of feels nostalgic, even though it's not. I mean, it makes you want to think it's. I mean, whenever they're talking, it's like, oh, it's got this, and that, and that. I mean, it sounds legitimate. Like, and then even the part where it has the guy gets home and he's like, oh, I got the milk and eggs you wanted, dear, and it's like. It just makes it a lot.
Space battle.
Yeah, exactly. But it just makes it a lot more personal, and it makes me want to play the game more.
It gives you that brand identity, just like today, like in real life with cars. You mean, oh, you drive an Audi, you drive a Ford, not a Chevy type thing. It's like, oh, you fly an Origin spacecraft. What are you, a snobby like BMW owner? It's exactly what it's gonna do, and it's gonna just add to that depth of the universe. It's no longer gonna be, everybody's got the same spacecraft. It's gonna be, you belong to this subculture, this group of people in this echelon, and you're on this tier. It's gonna be like real life, dude. Crazy.
Oh yes. If you are a fan of the game, we would like to suggest you get a subscription to the game. Now these go from anywhere from $10 to $120 to even $250, and these just give you little perks here and there. Basically, your money will be going to help develop the game. and they give you little things like the ability to participate in live monthly team show and tell sessions with the LA office. They give you Jump Point, which is this monthly digital magazine for Star Citizen that has like this lengthy monthly newsletter, including updates from the team, new fiction that's in the universe, and all this, just to keep you up to date with the game. You get custom decals for your ships, exclusive catalogs for subscriber merchandise. Your name is going to be put in the game if you're also a subscriber. So if you want your character to be somewhere in the game, or your real name in somewhere in the game, they'll make a character, give it that name, and send them somewhere in the universe for you to find.
Which is epic, dude.
You walk into a bar and you're staring at yourself, and all of a sudden yourself starts shooting at you.
That's crazy. I can't think of any other game that's done something like that. But it's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
I noticed you put something on there about the unofficial soundtrack, and I haven't had a chance to listen to it, but I'm assuming that you have.
I have. There is a there's a guy in the forums who started creating a unofficial soundtrack for the game for your Hangar module, or just when you're loading your game. His name's Caden Wellborn, or Caden L. Wellborn, and he's been on the forums since May 2nd. He's decided to create a soundtrack for the game before anything's added, just so your Hangar module, when you go into it and you check out your ships, or you ride around in your buggy, that it's not, quiet and all you hear is the hum of the ship. He took the time to create these wonderfully composed soundtracks to give your Hangar module a little bit more life, a little bit more excitement. I mean, when you go in your Hangar modules, you're not going to spend an hour or so in there, but the time that you do spend in there will be a little bit more enjoyable with this guy's music that he's created. And this isn't novice music. This is really well composed.
I think that's outstanding. I can't think of any, there's very, very few games that come to mind where people go above and beyond to do stuff like this, where they're not gonna get any money, they're not gonna get anything, and it's extremely hard to motivate people in today's day and age without money. So seeing somebody do something like this just makes me happy, which means that this game is gonna live further because Chris Roberts is embracing the modding community. So in all honesty, he might pick up some of these songs, he might put them into the soundtrack. I mean, it's free composing, it's free quality composing, so I think that's an outstanding thing that this person has done, and I look forward to other people doing stuff like this.
And just to throw this last little part out there, he's also has other composers working with him to do this, such as Nick Fitzgerald, Fernando Pepe, Nick D. These are just some amazing artists and composers and musicians who've come on there to help him create these tracks. So far, they've released 22 tracks, and each track is done by different composers that are in this project. The project's called the AUS project, which is to try to make the Hangar a little bit better and make some great music.
It's looking pretty good, man.
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to what they're going to be doing in the future with it.
Okay, so the other day I woke up and I checked my phone, and then I got a message on YouTube, and I read it, and it was from one of my subs. And this guy on the forum goes by the name of Phoenix, and he's a High Admiral. He's got 331 posts, extremely dedicated to Star Citizen, one of the model Star Citizens on the forums. And he sends me a link, and he's like, "Hey man, I've been one of your subs for a long time, since back in the DayZ days. I just wanted to let you know I'm doing this video contest on the forums, and I'm giving away a bunch of ships." And I was like, okay, that's cool, I'll check it out. So I check it out, and lo and behold, this guy is giving away some outstanding stuff. And the grand prize is, with lifetime insurance, the Retaliator, that huge bomber. I don't even know how much the Retaliator. Does anybody know how much that thing costs?
It was at least $1,000.
$1,000? No way. Is it really?
Pretty sure.
Unconfirmed. Might be $1,000, but that's the that's the grand prize. That is a big ship. It's like half the size of the Idris, and it's a bomber. First prize, lifetime insurance, the Rear Admiral package, including the Constellation. So that's huge in itself. Second prize, lifetime insurance, the Hornet digital kernel package with a Super Hornet upgrade. Third prize, lifetime insurance Cutlass digital pirate package again. And then secondary prizes that you can win in addition to the main prizes are the 315P with lifetime insurance, 325A with lifetime insurance, the Advanced Hunter Avenger package with lifetime insurance, and he's also got a secret prize at the end. To enter this contest, you just go to the forums that we are going to link in the description for all the rules, but you basically have to upload videos on his... Let me check it real quick. I don't know. I think it's like January 7th or something. It's his birthday. And you only upload the videos on that day, and then you can enter as many times as you want. And the basic rule is it needs to be related to Star Citizen in one form or another. And I just want to do a shout out to this guy because this is just on the same lines as the Unofficial soundtrack guy. People going above and beyond. This guy is donating well over $1,000 to the contest for people to make videos promoting this game. I can't think of anything that would be more generous than to donate your hard-earned money to make other people happy, to promote something that, in the grand scheme of things, is going to make many, many people happy. And I'm just super excited. I know I'm going to be entering the contest. I know Work Hard is, and probably Ruin. So I'm just super stoked, and I hope I win a Retaliator.
Yeah, I think that goes along with people helping in the community and things like that. I mean, if you've seen any of their live streams and such, they don't have a huge team yet, and by the community really stepping up like this, I feel like it makes the team want to succeed even more and do more with their games. I think even the small things, even if you're just entering these type of contests and stuff, is helping out the game in the long run.
Yep, I completely agree. Okay, so we kind of touched on it last time, but we didn't go into full details. I know you put this on here, Orchard, so I'll let you elaborate. But the next great Starship contest that they're hosting for people to create ships and such. Do you know all the details on that?
Yeah, it was a contest that Arbor Space Industries started to, to make players more involved in the game, to actually create content. They started registration on October 31st of this year, and it's going to be ending on December 31st. Basically, it's a modding competition series where groups of up to 3 citizens team up and combine their talents to design, model, and rig a spaceship. The winner will be not only have their ship included into the game, they'll each get their own ship that they made, and they'll get proceeds, or percentage of the proceeds that people buy from this ship go straight to them. So far, 129 teams have registered, and they've already given some glimpses here and there of what their ships are going to look like, and they do look amazing. They actually take the time to model these ships, they take time to design them, model them, and actually go in and do the programming to rig their spaceship to work as it would work in the game.
And this is just like a running theme for this podcast, but that just goes along the lines of people going above and beyond. That is some people being motivated by money, but I guarantee most people just want to do it because they want their ship in the game. You know?
Oh, definitely.
I can associate myself with this crowd of people, and I know that I would love to have my ship in the game. I've already been brainstorming different ship ideas just in my head. I know that I'm just no way I'm going to enter. There's no way I'm going to win. I don't have that amount of skill. But
if you plan to enter this competition, you have to make sure you have some kind of experience in actually designing games. I mean, yeah. I'm not talking, you go in with a piece of pen and paper, design a ship. No, you're actually doing everything that the developers will do to put a ship into the game. Now, not everyone's going to win this competition, but the judges will judge several ships to see which ones they'll put in the game and which ones will, go to the trash can.
Yep, that's just the way contests are. But honestly, I like the fact that it's competition. I like the fact that it's being done as a competition so that they will choose winners. There will be winners and losers, which creates competition, which makes people want to try harder.
Indeed.
If he was just like, hey guys, if you want to submit a ship and send it to me and I'll take a look at it, people would half-ass their stuff. But this is, people being motivated by money, people being motivated by fame and glory. So I think that the best of the best is going to succeed, and overall it'll be great for everybody because there will be an extra few awesome ships in the game. So stoked on it.
Now, and going back to the how you're saying, it's a way people can make money off of it and things like that. And I mean, you really have to have experience for it, because some of the ships that people have already made, I'm pretty sure they're going to be making complete 3D models of it and actually like explorable like it is in the Hangar module. But I mean, some of the scales of the ship that they're making, I mean, you can see into some of the bridges in them, but I mean, Let's say one of them in there, the Osiris. I mean, that thing. If you look at where the little miniature people are placed in the cockpit of it, it is huge. I mean, it is a huge ship. So I think it's if you're good at coding and you can 3D model very well, I mean, it's a good chance to make some money off of it.
Yeah, if you're listening to this podcast and you're one of those modders and you're gonna make a ship, do me a favor, and when you enter, just scratch my name into one of the walls so that my name will be on there, because that would be freaking outstanding. But pretty stoked on that.
The Osiris ship he's talking about is actually an example of one of these ships that some players are creating. We'll provide links, of course, but looking at it, you can actually see that they are modeling it. They've actually had it in a environment to show you what it's going to look like in game, and they haven't really done any great details on the ship's hull or anything, but they do show the interior of the ship, the exterior, and the size of the person that will, well, the scale of that compared to a person, like Ruin was discussing. They do look amazing, though.
Yep, pretty stoked on that. Alright, so in an effort to make you guys more involved in the podcast, we are going to ask you guys a few questions, and we want you guys to leave comments down below and start conversations, because that's what this is about. This isn't only about us, this is about community, growing the community, and eventually playing the game together. So, first question of the day that we have for you guys is, what ship are you most looking forward to? Be it one that you own or one that you want to own. And tell us why. Either of you guys have questions for the audience?
I would actually like to know how they got turned on to the game. Like, where did they hear about it, and what they're most excited about.
Awesome. I think 2 is probably a good place to start. So. You have any final comments, Ruin? Because you're the guest star.
Thanks for having me. I think that's the best comment I can make.
Welcome. And you're welcome back anytime. So.
Well, you'll probably be seeing a lot of me.
Awesome. Okay. Well, that pretty much wraps it up. Orchard, would you like to do the outro?
We want to thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to catch our next episode, which will be released soon. And make sure to go to Saturday. Make sure to go to iTunes. I will be uploading every episode there if you want to just, put it on your phone or your iPad or anything similar to that. And we just want to wish y'all a happy Thanksgiving weekend, and enjoy this next coming few weeks.
Yep, happy Thanksgiving, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
Penis.